let's bring this show home strong, and we will. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Failla, come on, give him a hand. Frank.
Good evening, I am Frank Failla, and I am a retired NYPD sergeant. Thank you. And I can tell you with confidence that when I worked every night, the people of New York City slept securely, knowing that I was on the day shift. I remember my first day of work, we're standing roll call, and the sergeant is talking to us, and he says, listen, you guys are the police. You go out there and you don't let the public push around. Now take your post. So I walk out there and I do exactly what every good cop is going to do. I went right to the coffee shop. I'm looking out the window and I see that there's a crowd gathering on the corner. And I'm watching, the crowd's getting bigger and a little bigger. So I said, all right, I gotta go out there and do something. So I adjust my gun belt and I go walking into the crowd and I said, come on folks, you gotta move. And they're just looking at me. I said, let's go, there's nothing here, move on. Nothing. With that, the patrol car pulls up. Sergeant jumps out, he goes, Failla, what are you doing, man? I said, Sergeant, I can't get them to move off the corner. He said, because it's a bus stop. One of the best days I had on patrol was when I got to deliver a baby. I remember I get the call, very clearly I remember, we get the call, I go running into the house, woman's on the couch, I looked, and they said, no, she's in the bedroom. So I go in the bedroom and she's delivering the baby, but the baby's breech. So I stick my hands in there and she's pushing and I'm pulling, twisting, turning, the baby comes out, we send her off to the hospital. About 2 weeks later she walks into the precinct, I'm like, are you here to thank me? She says, no, I found your watch. So now that I'm retired, I get to stay home with the kids. And let me tell you something. I always thought that if I had gotten killed in the line of duty, it would be instantaneous. This is a slow burning death. I mean, it's torture. Everything's a problem. Breakfast. I hadn't gone shopping. So the only thing in the house we had was cereal. And it was Life cereal. My God, it was like a prison riot. Yelling and screaming, oh my God, we hate this cereal sucks, life sucks. I said, oh kids, you have no idea. And everything is a problem. I mean, even the homework. My daughter says to me, she says, Daddy, I need 3 signs that it's spring. I said, okay. She goes, I have 2. I said, what do you got? She says, well, I got the birds are singing. I said, great. Flowers are blooming. I said, fantastic. She goes, I need 1 more, Daddy. I said, all right. I said, oh, that's right. In the police department, we always knew it was spring when the bodies floated up. Then there's the math. Now, I don't do math. Okay, there's no need to. Whatever change you give me at the register, I'll take it. I'm not counting it. It just doesn't matter. So now my son says to me, Dad, can you help me with this math problem? I said, all right, what is it? He says, Tommy's got a box of candy. The box contains 10 packs of 10 for a total of 100. He gives 2.5 packs to Susie. How much candy does he have left? I said, what? Now remember, everything I learned in life was from the police department. So I'm thinking about this, and I said, all right, write this down. Jamal has a sleeve of heroin. He sells 2.5 bundles to Richie from Massapequa. How many decks does he have left? Well, a sleeve is 100, a bundle's 10, 2.5. He's got, that's 25, he's got 75 decks of heroin left. I'm no longer allowed to help the kids with their homework. And even something as simple as back to school night. You know, we go back for the Thanksgiving and all the kids have their hand traced turkey on the board. Well, I can see my son's right off the bat. It's a decapitated turkey in a chalk outline. I mean, nothing is easy. It's even I went to the bank. Okay, I had to go to the bank and I actually had to talk to the manager. So I tell the kids, sit here. I'm talking to the manager. All I hear is this. I turn around, the kids are climbing on the table. I yell, get down. With that, everybody in the bank hits the floor. The security guard's tackling me. And they're laughing. They're killing me, Pam. They're killing me. It really is. And then, of course, how do you punish them? Because you can't hit them. Well, you can, but you shouldn't. Over here, kids, so do whatever you want. But if you send them to their room, they have everything they need. So I finally figured it out. I figured out how to punish them. You don't take away their iPad. You take away the charger. And you watch the blood drain from their face. And you should see the look on my wife's face when I take away her batteries. So no, I am, it seems the theme of the night is divorce, so I am recently divorced. Listen, we made it 25 years, so you're almost there. Marriage has a shelf life, in case you didn't know. But no, actually, I have to say, though, my wife was very supportive. She would come to all my comedy shows. She's here tonight, or it's my daughter's comedy show, but she is here tonight. But she was always very supportive, and I remember I did a show, and I got off the stage, and she said, Frank, what's the matter? You look upset. I said, yeah, I'm a little annoyed that I messed up that joke. She goes, it's okay. Nobody was listening anyway. So, you know, it's very easy for one spouse to blame the other spouse for the divorce, and it really, it's never like that. There's always takes two. Sometimes three if there's somebody else involved, but it's two. But I look back and I think of the signs that maybe things were going bad earlier. Like I remember one time she wasn't feeling well, and I said, so you know, honey, sex is the best medicine. She said, you're absolutely right. Problem is, I need long-lasting, and you're fast-acting. Yeah, you know, listen. You know. And then, of course, we went and we bought a new bed. We bought a Sleep Number bed. Anybody have one of those? Yeah, $7,000 for a Sleep Number bed, and I still couldn't get a 69. But like I said, there are always signs that the marriage is going wrong. I remember we were walking through Costco, and she said to me, "Oh, look, there's my gynecologist." So I go over, I tap the guy on the shoulder. I said, "How you doing, sir? I understand you have also seen my wife's vagina." He says, "Well, which one is she?" I said, "She's over there." He goes, "Yeah, I saw it yesterday." I said, "Yesterday? She didn't have a doctor's appointment." He said, "Doctor, I'm your mailman." She's always hated that joke. Always hated that joke. I give her credit. She always put up with it, but she always hated that joke. But you know, again, other signs that I may have been at fault. Like when she'd say to me, "Can we go play that escape game?" Everybody play that escape game? She says, "Yeah, can we play the escape game?" I said, "Honey, I play that every time you tell me your mother's coming over." So I get it. I might have, you know. And then there was a time, you're 10 years in, you're not any in, but some of this advice will work, okay? Do not give her the remote. Do not give her the remote. That's a rookie mistake. Don't do it. Because here's what happens. You'll end up watching the Travel Channel, because I gave my wife at the time the remote, and she stops on the Travel Channel. And she says, "Oh, look at this. They're traveling all over the world." She goes, "Wouldn't it be so nice to travel the world and make love in every country?" I said, "Yeah." So I took it to Epcot. It's not the same, man. Apparently it's not the same. Apparently it's not the same. But yeah, it's you know, it's crazy. But now I am online dating, and you know, it's nice because now I have choice. So I had a choice. I met some ladies. I had a choice of a personal trainer and a dog trainer. I took the dog trainer because I get a cookie after my walk. I also have found out, now that I'm single, that women do not like to be asked if you've had an orgasm. Am I right? That's what I'm told. They don't like to be asked that. So I know with this lady, she's a dog trainer. I know that I never have to ask, because after sex she pats me on the head and says, "Good boy." But it actually didn't work out, because every time I sat on the couch she hit me with the newspaper. So I recently moved out. I recently moved out of the house, got an apartment, a little better than the basement. But I got an apartment, and my buddy was helping me move in, and at the end, he goes, Frank, what's the matter? I said, well, you know, with all the money I had to spend to move in, the first month, last month, security, I said, I don't have enough money to buy a TV for the bedroom. He says, dude, you're divorced now. You don't need a TV in the bedroom. You're going to be having so much sex. Apparently, I was lied to. You know, I know the worst part? Is tomorrow I'm going to go out and spend $600 on a television. So, it's not easy. It's not easy out there, but, you know, you make the best of it. But again, getting back to that there were always signs that there was something wrong in the marriage. I remember I always hated when my wife clapped after sex, because I could hear her when I was downstairs watching television. Actually, I gotta be honest, that's the joke she hates the most. But you know, she is a court reporter, and she used to run the bedroom like it was a courtroom. So whenever we were gonna have sex, she would tell me, all rise. Enter Exhibit A into evidence. When she was finished, she'd tell me, court is adjourned. So I decided I was going to initiate sex. So I stood at the end of the bed naked. That's right, ladies, take it in. And I said, honey, court is in session. I'm going to enter into evidence Exhibits D-I-C-K. She sat up and she said, but you know I don't work small claims. So you see, obviously there were problems that I wasn't quite aware of. But listen, as I mentioned earlier, it seems the theme of the night is divorce. So I'm just going to leave you guys with this, okay? Everyone says divorce or marriage is like being arrested. Excuse me, it's like being in jail. It's like being in prison. It's not. Marriage is like getting arrested, and here's why. And here's the advice. If I had followed it, and I hope to impart this onto you. Remember this, guys. This is really for the guys. You have the right to remain silent. Because anything you say can and will be used against you. And if you cannot afford an attorney, and you can't, one will not be appointed for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Frank Failla.